Good morning, everybody. How are you doing today? My name is Eileen and I own J. Nicole Designs. And I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. We this week have had a little bit of a rough start to the holiday season. My husband wasn't feeling good, and so we've kind of been slow on the to-do list to get my Christmas stuff up. So I said last week that I would put some pictures up, but right now I don't have anything that is picture worthy other than back there are a few of my Christmas decorations that I will be using. I think and I'm going to be using that in my entryway or my downstairs. So anyway, I'm just going to let a couple of you gals get online and good morning, how are you doing? And we will start. Good morning, Munchkin. Today we are going to be doing a tablescape. And my kitchen table is 8 feet long, and I want to duty it up with some really fun stuff for Christmas. So I'm going to do it a little bit early because I'm super excited and I have something in my mind that I thought, okay, I went to our local thrift store and went shopping and got some really fun Christmas items, and I'm ready to kind of just put that into motion, and I want you guys to join me as I create this tablescape. So come along with me. All right, so I'm going to show you first each plate. I have 6 guests coming for Christmas, and I'm going to make them a personalized thing to take home. And hey, Joy, good morning. And each person is going to get this on their table, and it can actually double as a Christmas ornament. If they don't take it, I actually have some vinyl here that I could pick off if I needed to, but this is what I'm going to make for every table setting. So we're going to make 5 of these, and then it's still in my mind, but the middle of my table, my dad made me these rounds from one of the trees that fell on his property, and these are about probably 3 or 4 years old, and he cut me a bunch of these, and I use these all the time for my decorating. They are under lamps. They are my big trivets for my hot plates when I have people over and I'm doing guests with like Corningware, and I put crock pots on them. And anyway, these are perfect for, you know, this little kind of just one level of outdoorsiness in your tablescape. So this is going to be my base, and I'm going to make a centerpiece, and then I'm going to do put that off to the side. So I have this lamp here, and my daughter got married just over a year ago, and we had a bunch of these lamps that we put along the aisle so that it was lit by candlelight. And I love this, it's great, but I'm looking, now that it's a year old, to redesign it a little bit. So today I'm going to actually make it into kind of like a little snow-covered lantern on the middle of the my tablescape. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, good morning, Cammie. I hope you're doing well today. What we're going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of snow and sparkle on it. And then you may see this in a different video. I'm going to turn it into something that's winterish. So it's not going to have just one purpose. Right now, I think I've got 3 purposes, and hopefully that will be, good morning, Christine. It's good to see you. Hey, sister. We're going to do this in a little bit of white and put some glitter around it. I have a little bit of greenery that we're going to do. So just kind of telling you where we're on our way. So like I said, this is our example. I'm going to do these first. And what I did is the original of this, I'll put this right here so you can kind of see it for reference. This is the top of a fence post. So my husband made, he built our fence, and he had a little too long, and so he just chopped off the top, and I'm like, don't throw those away because I would love to use them. And it's about 2 years later, and today I'm going to repurpose them. So that's what we're gonna start off with. And then what some of the supplies that I'm gonna use is this right here. I know it's backwards, I'm so sorry, just kind of take a screenshot and read it backwards. But this is chalk paint, and it's almost like a gel kind of consistency. And so when you see it, I won't be using a paint tray because you can just use it right out of the tin. I'm gonna also be using chalk paint. This is black. We're gonna be doing the nameplate there. And I've kind of done a little bit of it prep time, just I don't want to make it too long for you guys, but we're going to be using that. And then we're also going to be using, this is glitter, and this is chunky glitter. It's not the diamond dust kind of thing. It's actually pretty large pieces of sparkle, but I got this at Walmart. So, and then this one here, this is craft glue from Elmer's, and this one does bonds paper and fabric. So this is a really good one when you want to use glitter and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do first of all is we're just going to kind of make it look like it's a fence post, but it has a little bit of snow falling on it. So I want my tablescape to be a little bit kind of a snow. I was hoping that it was going to be snowing. You can't see out the window, but last time I had an inch of snow, and now I have nothing, and it's almost going to be 50 degrees. So I was expecting a lot more snow already, but it is not here yet. So, all right. So what we're going to use for the white is I'm going to take my, this is just like a little spackle brush. I got it at Walmart. And what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that when you look at it, it looks like snow is falling. So I'm going to do dots here, and then I'm just going to brush them down. So let's see if I can do this on the fly here. And that kind of gives it just a little bit of a snow crest. There's a little mound here and a mound there. And then I'll just do a little bit on the top. And then I want it kind of look like it's falling on the bottom. So I'm just going to whimsy, just put it down on the side. There we go. So in the comments, let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to find out where everybody's at. It's super fun. I so enjoy being able to go on and hang out with everyone and be able to do something that I love. Okay, so not too much, just a little bit of texture here and there. So we're gonna do this in a production style. And just to let you know, I am one of those where I always do 1 or 2 or 3. Last video I did Christmas cards, and I always make more than 1 or 2 at a time. And the production method that I use is every time you do something, do it all of that many of the projects all at once. And it just saves on time and being able to do the same thing at once. There we go. All right. And I just want a little bit, because we're going to be putting some glue on it, and we're going to make the corners sparkle a little bit. So I just want a little bit to look like there's some texture. You can do it on the sides. Put these over here. We got 2 more left. And I could see this, if you did it on a smaller scale, it would be really pretty to be able to put this on your Christmas trees. And maybe it's a little sign that you put a little sentiment on the name right there. You could use it multiple different ways. But I think this is a great repurpose to something that I thought was going to be in the garbage. And like I said, it was one of those where I was like, honey, please. I want to be able to use it someday. So sure enough, I've always told you it's one of those. I'm not one of those where it just goes in the garbage after a year. I do actually keep a few things on hand. Okay. And this paint dries really nicely. it's pretty forgiving. You know, I did not sandpaper any of this board. It's pretty rough. And so if you want to, you could make it smooth. But I think for just kind of the rustic farm look, I want to make sure that it just, you know, it kind of does its own texture. So, okay, it's going to be loud here for just a second. I'm going to take and shoot it with my hair dryer. I just want it a little bit dry so when I touch it that my hands don't get too messy. I'm one of those where I like to clean up as I go, but I'm going to be using this paintbrush again, so we'll just put that off to the side. But like I said, this is the paint that I used, and it is porcelain, and it's a pretty white. I like that color, especially it's not super white, but it does the job. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take the glue here, and we're just going to make a little bit of sprinkle going on. And I don't want it too thick. I just want to put a little bit here and there, and that will just give us a little bit of a sparkly. I love sparkles. So let's put these off to the side. And then I always use, this is just an extra piece of paper I was stamping with the other day. And I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of the dust here. I'm actually gonna open it up. We're gonna go for the gusto. There we go, perfect. I'm gonna swirl it around. All right. Sprinkle a little bit more on. Because this is a little chunky, I do like to pick it up, and there we go. So do you see that there? There's a little bit of sparkle. Just gives it a little bit of extra bling on there. So I'm gonna do that again to these ones. Let me know if you have any suggestions of what you would like to do. If you think, maybe Prismaglitter. There we go. I'm just actually going to use my finger because I think, yep, it's going to sparkle nicely. There we go. Let me know how your Thanksgiving went. Did you cook a turkey? Did you get to go to someone else's house and not cook? We ended up this year, we smoked a turkey, and I have to be honest with you. I don't know if we'll do a turkey again like that at Thanksgiving, because my husband and I were both talking and said, you know what, we kind of like that traditional taste of a turkey. And so I think it would be great, more or less like a winter kind of thing, or I guess not at Thanksgiving when we're looking for that juicy oregano and all that. And the turkey was juicy. It turned out beautifully, but we just wanted that traditional taste. And it was like a smoked, and we put some rub on it and different things. But like I said, it was one of those where we were looking for that good old Southern traditional Thanksgiving Northwest flair kind of thing. But it ended up a little bit different. All right, so you see that? It's just one of those, we'll just put a little sparkle on it. And then I'm just gonna let this dry. Here's one more left. And you can use Mod Podge if you want to, or you could use just regular crafting glue. I like also the 3M glue. This is what it looks like right here. It bonds all different, good morning, Amanda. It bonds all different textures. So this here is paint to glitter, and it works, that just works fine. So does the tacky, the 3M. Okay, last one. I'll just put it off to the side. There we go. And I could see this really cute looking like a snowman theme if you had little puffy snowman or woodland animals, something like that. I think these would be beautiful. So if you're just joining me this morning, these are the tops of fence posts, and my husband just chopped them off and was going to throw them away, and I was like, nope, we're not doing that. So just if you're watching and you're like, what is she using and how is that going? And that's what I got. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put on the little wreath here. And I was at the thrift store, and these came in packages, I think of 6 or something like that. But if you have a piece, just a string of garland or something like that, I could see that you could put just a circle and decide what you want to do. So I am going to actually, we're going to take this away, and we're going to do this in an assembly line. Like I said, I always like to do things in assembly, so I do the same motion at once. So you won't be able to see them all because it's kind of not in the whole frame. There we go. But I'll do my best to make sure. So cool. Oh, good morning. Good to see ya. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my glue gun, and I have it set on the floral setting. It's not as hot, and I thought, well, maybe I should have done that, but I came back to it this morning after I made one of them, and it's fine, totally fine. It'll stick just like that. Okay, let's do a few more of these. And we're just going to let these kind of firm up. I want to make sure that that it sticks down to the board. And I may have to go back a little bit and stick down some of it just to make sure. There we go. All right, if you're in the shopping for a new glue gun, this is a glue gun by Gorilla, and I got it at Walmart, and it is the nicest glue gun I have ever owned. There we go. Put that on there. Let's hold this one for a little bit. It looks pretty fluffy. Okay. I don't know if you can hear my kitties walking around my my desk today. She is in rare form and ready to make a mess of my crafts, which I'm okay with. Her and I, we hang out and craft all the time. Oh, there she goes. There we go. And then the last one, let's see, let's make sure. There we go. Let me know if you are doing a tablescape this year. Is there something that you have planned? I know some of the big things is the black and white and the buffalo check, but there's all sorts of, I've seen some winter, and even in the stores right now, I've seen like a seashell or kind of like almost a Northwest beach themes. And I think it's really fun that people have kind of expanded than just doing the Santa, and that's about it. So, okay, so these are it. We're just gonna, yep, they're on pretty good. I just wanted to make sure that each one of them had their own, that they stuck on really well. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is, this is a little piece of wood here, and I bought it just like this. And it came in a pack. I got it at Michael's, and you know, I've made ornaments out of them. I put a little hole at the top and used jute and put a image of either vinyl or wrote things on it. So I had a couple extra of them, and so I thought, you know what? That's what we're gonna use today. And that's what we're gonna do with the chalk paint. This is the black ebony chalk paint. And I just am gonna use a little brush here. You see how, well, I'm black. I got some black here. See how it has a square? And that's how I'm gonna get those really nice lines. And when I do this type of a paint, I make sure that I load up my brush really well. And that's how I got the really crisp lines on it. So again, I did not do any type of sanding or anything. I am just gonna, without watering it down, I'm just gonna load up my brush, and I go about a quarter of an inch from the edge there so that I give it just a little depth. There we go. So in the comments, let me know what ideas you have in mind if you were to use these. It's pretty fun. You can customize these. I just have a little, I'll show you. Get that there. This is from Fiskars. It is a drill, and I just drill a hole on the top of the ornaments, put jute or some type of a ribbon, and I've made them for Christmas gifts. Like I said, you can use them in multiple ways. So I do one half, and the other I turn it around. The reason being is that this brush, the way it goes better if you drag it back. So, and if you'd like, you can do a couple coats of this. Like I said, I loaded up my brush quite heavily, and so you could go back and do a second coat if you would like. But right now, I'm just, for time's sake, and that's all you need to do. Just go ahead and let it dry. I did do a couple ahead of time just so that I don't have to turn on my hair dryer again, but that is how you do that. And like I said, you know, you could take this off and flip it over and do something different next year. You could keep that. I think it would be really cool. I'll show you, I have the red letters that I had, but I think just a simple piece of chalk and writing a name on it. But I'm gonna give these away, so I want them custom to keep the name in the same spot. So anyway, all right, so this is what we're gonna be doing. We're just gonna put it off to the side. And how I just did that is I just took some glue on my glue gun on the back here, more glue. Using lots of glue today, it looks like. That is okay. All right, so I just kind of want it off to the side, and I'm gonna make sure that my, the piece and part where I'm gonna put it, that it will actually adhere on the side, because it looks like there's a bump right here, so I'm gonna move it off to the side. There we go. All right, so there's one. Like I said, I mean, you could decide which way you would like it to be. I mean, well, we're gonna put a bow up there, but the sky's the limit on what you can do as far as that goes. But just see how nice and easy it is just to put a little extra touch on there, and I'm gonna put it on top so it kind of pushes down. Oh, no, that would be upside down. Whew, glad I got that one. I may have had to revamp that one. There we go. And then the next thing we're gonna do after we finish putting this on, super simple, is we are gonna make a bow for the top, and then I'm gonna put some Jingle Bells on it. There we go. These off to the side. All right, can you guys see this? There we go. I don't want it to get too busy around where we're looking at. Okay. So when I do a project, I like to build from the bottom up. So like I said, we did our base here, the wreath. Here's the name tag, and now we're gonna put on the bow. So the bow, I made just a simple little bow, and I'm gonna show you how to do it because I had the hardest time trying to figure out, okay, these bows are super cute, but how did they do it? So I went on YouTube and I watched some videos, and this is a bow that I had about a few months back, and I used it on a project, and I took it out of the project because I was finished with it, and I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna keep the ribbon and reuse it somehow. So I just kind of want to show you what to do. And go ahead, I know it's got some of those little marks from the bow from the previous, but we're going to use those as landmarks. So I'm going to go ahead and take it about this long. This is about 18 inches long. I can trim it if I need to, but all I'm going to do is just crisscross it right where those little pieces are, and then I'm going to squish it together. If I want my bows to be a little bit, the loops to be a little bit bigger, then I just make them longer. But do you see how that goes? I was struggling, and then I watched a video and I'm like, perfect. So that's all you do. Take one piece, crisscross it, just like that, and then scrunch down the middle. How easy is that? I love it. Okay, I'm gonna take the ribbon, or the wire from the ribbon I had, do that. And then I'm just gonna squish it together, pull it tight, twist. There we go. And then just fluff it up a little bit. And that's how you do it. There we go. Ta-da! Okay, so if you want more tutorials and things like that, YouTube is a great place. Go ribbon making DIY, and you'll be golden. Okay, so now we're gonna take those. I made a couple of them extra for time's sake, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that little piece of wire that I had on, and I'm just gonna fasten it to the top. And I'm just gonna twist it on one of the little sprigs of the wreath. That's how simple it is. See that? It works wonders. I love floral wire. So again, we're just gonna take these. These are kind of long, it looks like. I might trim it a little bit. Always have one of these when you're working with any type of ribbon or florals. Put this right on top. There we go. And each one of them, although they're the same materials, are going to be, you know, not exactly the same. And that's what I love about hand making things, that each person gets my rendition of the same materials. Okay, so like I said, and see how easy this is if you just do each motion all at once. I can't stress that enough, that when you're doing a project and you have to do more than one, or that you should do more than one, it's just easier to do everything all at once. And like I said, I do that with my cards. I do that with any type of, let's see here. I need to fluff this and make sure. I do that with any type of project that requires more than one step and multiple times. Okay. All right, so we got all of them ready. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put on the Jingle Bells, and these are cool. I got these at Michael's. Sorry, they're a little noisy. But I got these at Michael's, and they are $6.99, and I'm sure that you could get them online if you don't want to go out and get them. But when I put these on here, you could just do just straight with the little jingle bell, the little X there, or you could be able to just kind of halfway glue it on. Oh, sorry, the FedEx guy. The dog's barking at the FedEx guy. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm going to put one that is straight on, and then I'm going to put one that's just a little bit down like that, so it gives it a little bit of depth. There we go. So that when you put this up, see how it gives it a little bit more texture. One looks straight on, one's off to the side, and I think it just gives it a little bit more of a homemade look. Okay, so let's put those on. And then for the last thing that we're going to do on the project here, I went and took some vinyl. Sorry, there we go. I got some vinyl, and you could do whatever you want, but I'm going to put the name tags on temporarily. If my guests want to take them off, they are welcome to, and if not, then you know, I think it would be great to use chalk and just put the names on there. But I like to be able to give gifts. I'm going to put this on with the glue on first. I like to be able to give gifts that you could either reuse, or like when I give a card, I have a little, it's like a little sticky note, and it basically just says, hey, this is handmade for you, and if you want to re-gift it to someone else, you are welcome to. So it has kind of a double use to it, and I think that's super fun to be able to give a gift and then for that person to be able to give it away. So, oh, Christine, good morning from Washington. I hope and I pray that you guys are doing okay with all the flooding. I've seen quite a bit of destruction and things like that, so I pray for the families that are underwater and haven't been able to get even back to their homes in the last couple weeks. Let's see, let's do that one like that. It is one of those. I grew up in Washington, and I have never in my life seen so much water in the area that where I'm from. So yeah. All right, last two Jingle Bells. And then, like I said, I did red vinyl for the names, and I think that it'll be nice to be able to have either if you want to replace it or not. So this is what I did. I know it's backwards, sorry about the names, but these are some of my guests coming. And what I did is I just went ahead, and this is outdoor vinyl. And because of the chalk paint, it should adhere pretty well. And how I do that is I'm just going to take a little bit, this is contact paper, and I'm going to peel it off, push it down, and Cricut has this really nice little paddle here that you can push down and make sure that it sticks on there. And there we go. So I'm just going to put that down. Let's see. Do I want it sideways? I can decide where I want it to be. And then you just go ahead and scrape back and forth. There we go. All right, and then I'm just going to tap it down a little bit to make sure that it adheres to the piece of wood. And there you have it. Last thing, I forgot one more thing. If you would like to, this is just something I thought of on the fly when I was finishing the project, but this is just a piece of string. And if you would like to be able to have your guests use it later as a Christmas ornament, go ahead and put a little glue on the back. Take that string, put it on the top here, And then this is what I do that I love. This is just a little piece of the ribbon that we had, just to make sure that it adheres on there. I'm gonna use my craft stick so I don't burn myself. But you can go ahead and just put that down, and it gives it a little bit more substance to be able to hang and stay. There we go. There we go. So isn't that great? So you get to enjoy your guests and know where they're going to be sitting, and they're able to have a little sentiment to take away from you. And then you also can hang it later. I could also see if you want to put a little string on the back or a piece of wood that you could just hang it or set it up like this. And I think this would be a great idea. I think also too, you could put Merry Christmas on there, you know, any type of sentiment that is Christmas related, winter related, and then give these as gifts. So do not throw away your husband's work of cutting off the top of a fence post, and you'll have this beautiful ornament. So, all right, that is gonna be for this part. And now the second part that we're gonna do, because we have the place settings. Now I want to decorate and make sure that the middle of my table, sorry, get this off to the side, I got lots of sparkles. Now I want to make sure that the middle of my table is festive. So what I did before, this is a little lantern. I got it for my daughter's wedding, and it's super beautiful, it's great, but I want to revamp it and be able to make it, well, redesign it. So I'm gonna do a little bit of chalk on there. So this is chalk paint. I used it for the ornaments, the table settings. And so I was thinking about this. So when you are, when you're thinking about snow and thinking about it falling, usually it falls down and most of the snow goes right at the edge. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a little bit of a swipe upwards so that the edge has more on it. You see how that goes? And then I'm gonna do it to each level that I think, okay, if this is going to be falling snow and I want it to look as realistic as possible, I'm gonna start at the edge, load up my brush, and see how that goes. I love it. Okay, and then, and if you were not here at the beginning of this live, I actually am going to take this later on and going to paint these white for winter. So I'm gonna use the same color and do the exact same thing, but paint it all white. Let's make sure that that doesn't get white either. There we go. And I'm gonna just do it for this one. And then just go ahead and drag along the top. You probably do want to take the big globs off the corners there. So see how that goes? Make sure I get enough on my brush. There we go. Make sure you get the corners, that kind of helps it out. Okay, and for the bottom, I'm just gonna do the same thing, but just a little tiny bit around the corners here. Add a little bit of extra snow. And then if you wanted to, you could take and we'll see if we've got some enough glitter here. We'll do some glitter on it as well. So go ahead and just take, there we go. Trying to do it upside down is not as always. There we go. I want to make sure that you guys see it. So there we go. So that's my little snow crusted. I'm going to do a little bit on the top. There we go. Just how you think that snow would fall. There we go. All right, and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of my my hair dryer because I don't want fingerprints all over it. Okay, and now we get to make it sparkly. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the top. I'm not going to do it as much as I did on the ornaments, but just enough to make it a little bit sprinkly. And then I'm going to do a little dousing of the glitter. I think everything needs a little bit of sparkle. Okay, let's get our extra paper. And here we go. This, like I said, this is glitter. It's the big chunky glitter. Let's make sure that the top stays on. There we go. There we go. And all it is just a little bit of a sparkle just to keep that same uniform. Let's just do the regular uniform look with my table scape. Isn't that wonderful? I love it. There we go. Okay. So if you can see it there, it's just a little bit of a snow-kissed look with some sparkle on there. And I think these are gonna be beautiful on my table. Okay. I'm gonna set that off to the side. I always make sure that I can get as many back in there. It goes a long way, but I wanna make sure that I keep all of my sparkles. Okay, I'm gonna put 2 of those on my table scape, but for time, I'm just gonna put, just do 1 of them. So here is the favorite fun part. I'm gonna take these things here and I'm gonna turn them into a, just a long, kind of like a little arbor kind of thing for my middle of my table here. That over there. Remember, we're going to be putting it on my big round, so I want to make sure that it goes over the side a little bit. So I'm actually going to take my round that I'm going to be using and I will put it right on there. Although I won't glue it to it, we will just kind of use it for reference. So this is just a piece of greenery. I'm actually going to take a couple of these off. Let's see here. Because I'll use them in different parts of the arrangement. Let's take these 2. There we go. Okay, and this is just a sprig. So I'm just gonna set it as flat as I can on the bottom here. And then this is just a poinsettia. It's got like almost like a clear sheen to it. And so it's just a little, almost looks like plasticky, but it's super pretty. So I'm gonna set it right there just so I know that some of it goes off the side. And then here's the other one, and this one's a little bit bushier, it looks like, so I might take a few more off of there. There we go. Oh, let's see if I can get this one off. There we go. All right, so let's move our lantern off to the side. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put it, like I said, just so I know where the placement is. And then just lay it right on the top. So everything will look nice. And the best thing for this, let me get it here, is zip ties. Who says that zip ties belong only in the garage? I use zip ties all the time for my florals. So it just makes things secure, and you can use it again. If I wanted to take this apart, I could totally just snap the zip ties, and it is super sturdy, but I can reuse it again. So that's the one thing about floor arrangement. I make sure I usually go to the thrift store, and I'll see some arrangements and things, and if I want one flower out of it, I'll buy the whole thing and just save it for another, well, let's use this one. Save it for another project. And there you go. Look at how sturdy that is. It's not going anywhere. So I want to make sure that that is going to take moving it around and being able to survive the Christmas season. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, I went to the dollar store. This is just little foam from their craft section, and I am going to take one of the wreaths that we had, and I'm going to put that just right on the middle here. And it looks like I do need to trim it a little bit. This foam is super easy to trim. You just use your scissors, cut what you like on and off. Perfect. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do. Yep, just like that. And I'm gonna make it a forever arrangement, and I'm going to hot glue it down to the pieces of the foundation there of the poinsettia and the greenery. I want to make sure that this stays. So I'm going to load it up quite heavily with hot glue. Arrange the greenery so that it will kind of stick on the greenery a little bit, not just that. Make sure that my greenery sticks out a little bit, gives it a little texture. And then I also have these, and let me know, I'm not gonna put them in yet, but let me know if you think I should put these in or if I should just leave it there. See, I like sparkle, so I would love your feedback to see if it's a go or not. Because I'm going to be putting these little birds in it. So let's do that. Move that off to the side. Get our clipper here. There we go. These ones are always tough when they have like 4 or 5 wires in it to cut through. There we go. Let's see how I'm just gonna put that right there. Let's cut both of them. I could also see a beautiful candle in the middle of this. Super fun. Hi, Sharon. It's good to see you. And oh, good morning, Jeff. And yes, Jeffrey, it is Burndy zip ties. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put them actually giving each other a little kiss. So we'll see here. We'll have to kind of make it like that. All right, so go ahead and load up your glue gun first. Make sure that you can put a fair amount on there. Let's get it so it doesn't go around. And I got this little pixie here at our thrift store, but you can get these at Michael's or Joann's. Right now, I think they're 60% off. So I think that there we go. I think you can pick up just about anywhere But like I said, I can see a candle in the middle of this, and I'm gonna actually pop this one off because I want it to be, they need to be closer. So I actually just popped it off the pixie. Move that down. There we go. Now they can be happy. All right, so you see in the front there, I do have some of that foam showing, and so there we go. This is where I had taken the little pieces here, and we will start putting in some of that greenery, so you don't see all the foam that I put on there. And you can pull it apart and do one sprig at a time and make sure where it's at. And then you can also too, you see how the little wreath here, I can pull each of those little sprigs up as well to be able to cover that up. See how that goes? And I will put some on the side here. There we go. And I have one more left. There we go. You know what? I'm a little bit particular on this, where I want this bird to go. So I'm gonna take him off the pixie. Yep, they're gonna be just like that. So you don't always have to keep it exactly as the pixie comes on the stick there. Okay, so are we thinking about the sparklies, the added extra sparklies? Should I do that? I'm not seeing it, so we're gonna leave it off for right now. But what I do need to do is we need to put a bow on this. And I have this ribbon here. It says Merry Christmas on it. And I think that that's going to be a really cute little, it's the same as the ribbons that are on the place settings. So I think I'm going to use this one. And instead of doing a big, huge, fluffy bow on the top, I think I'm just going to do a few little loops here. And what this does, it just brings a little bit of texture amongst, you know, the greenery. And all I do is put a little glue on it and I squish it up just like that. And then where I want it to go, I will just put a little bit of glue on there so that it stays in place. There we go. I'm gonna let that cool down while I make another one. Oh, I love creating. This is not how I originally planned it, but I think it is turning out cute. Let me know what you think. There we go. And when you're doing stuff like this, I always work in odd numbers, so lots of 3 works really well. Okay, and I'm going to go back to the other one and see how you just kind of fluff that up a little bit. That looks good. And these are about, I would say, 5-6 inches long. Okay. There we go. And then right here, I think I'm going to put a bow. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. So like I said, we'll just kind of fluff it up a little bit. Make sure that, oh, let me make sure that stays right where it needs to be. My handy dandy crafting pick so I don't burn myself. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side a little bit and show you how I'm going to make my bow. So first of all, I'm going to make my tail. And I have about, oh, I would say that's about 12 to 18 inches. And this right here, it's called dovetail, and you just cut a triangle out of it and it does that. So that's kind of one of the later trends of being able to be up on the crafting how-tos. And so that's all I'm going to do. This is going to be my my ribbon bow tails. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one loop and I'm going to fold it on 2, 3, let's do 4. And then right in the middle there, I'm just going to cut the piece back to the middle, squish it together, and then there we go, so you guys can see. That is what we're going to end up doing. And let me make sure that I can get some floral wire. We'll cut some floral wire, and then we will put it together, and then we will fluff. There we go. And push it tight, or pull it tight, and then twist. Make sure that that little piece in the back here, that it stays in the back. Look at your tails, they are perfectly aligned, and then just start pulling. And it's not going to be that big of a bow, but I just want something that's just a little bit of a fluff. And see that piece right here? I tuck it inside just so that you don't see it, that it's just going to be in as part of the bow. So this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like a little star or fluffy turkey round or something. I don't know. We'll see. Put that in there. Okay, and then I'm going to put it right here in the middle. And then when you have a bow like this, go ahead and attach it with that floral wire to a piece. I'm just going to do it to the piece of the wreath that I put on with the birds. And then I'm going to twist. Secure it on there. Make sure that it's not going to fall off. You don't want your beautiful arrangements to end up going into disarray. Okay, so there we go. Now, it needs a little bit of an extra oomph, and it needs to match the place settings. So I'm going to take my glue gun, and we're going to put a couple of these in the middle here. And I got to hold it on there, so make sure that it doesn't fall off. Let's put a glob right there. We may have to hold on to this for a few seconds. There we go. You see that there? It just kind of gives it a little bit of oomph to the, and then I'm gonna go and take a piece of the sprigs that we have. Yep. And I'm just gonna put those on the top. I just want a little bit of texture to give it a little bit of an embellishment. See how that just adds a little bit of extra oomph to it? Brings in the theme. There we go. Okay. So after I've done all of this gluing, do you see I've got, well, I don't know if you can see, but I've got stuff all over myself here. And the way how you get rid of that is voila. That is how you get rid of all those little extra strings and whatnot. So, okay, so here's my base. and we're gonna put the light, the little light on there. You can if you want. Super, super cute, just to be able to give it one more little added texture. And I will have another one over here, so I think that'll look really nice. All right, and so there you have it, your beautiful centerpiece. And then here is your little place setting that you can put on your table. And I think for Christmas, I think my family is going to love the little gifts and the little sentiments. And I hope you have enjoyed hanging out with me today. If you would like to, I do have a Etsy shop and a YouTube channel, Jane Nicole Designs. I also have a Jane Nicole Designs VIP. If you want to join on Facebook, it gives you little extra tips and tricks. And sometimes I do an extra sale on there. If you want to be a part of that, go ahead and go to Jane Nicole Designs on Facebook. And if you want to be able to purchase some of the stuff that I put on for my videos, I do have a Etsy shop, and you can do the Jane Nicole Designs or janenicoledesigns.com, and you'll be able to look at my stuff that I have them there. So I so appreciate you all hanging out with me for this morning. I pray that you have a fun day and enjoy the rest of this week. And let me know if you have any tablescapes that you're doing. I would love to be able to interact and see how you are creating and what you're doing on your crafting journey. Thanks again, and you have a wonderful day.